Hello and welcome to another episode of Tiva Drive. Today we are at Volvo Metro S brand new dealership in South Etobicoke near Kipling and Queensway. But we're actually here with a Lexus. This is a 2024 Lexus RX450h+. Very long and complicated name. It's a plug-in hybrid using the same technology as the RAV4 Prime, which is now going to be called RAV4 plug-in hybrid, and as the NX450h+. So this is a plug-in hybrid. The battery is around 18 kilowatt hours. The pricing starts at all the way up at $87,000, so it's not cheap. It only comes in one model. It's fully loaded with all kinds of goodies, so we'll show you the interior in a moment. But the reason why we brought this Lexus to a Volvo dealership is because this Lexus is sized like the XC60T8 Recharge. Actually, no, Recharge is dropped. It's just called T8 again. T8 plug-in hybrid, but it is priced like the larger XC90T8. So here we have those two cars. We put them side by side with the larger XC90 priced the same on the right, and the same sized XC60 priced substantially less. This XC60 core model plug-in hybrid starts at, imagine that, $59,900, $60,000 versus $87,000 for this one. This one, the new XC90, which is actually going to be refreshed for 224.5, they call it. It's going to be a new face, new interior, will be priced from $88,000. So it's priced identical to this Lexus RX 450h+. Now Lexus, this is remember that the 90 comes with a 7-seat option. This is only a 5-seat option. There is an L version of the RX, but it doesn't come in a plug-in hybrid. And then above that you have an even bigger TX and an LX SUV, so you have two more sizes above this one. The TX does come in a plug-in hybrid, which is bigger, and it's a 7-seater, but it's going to be priced even higher. So here we're just trying to demonstrate, because these are the cars that the Lexus is most of the time compared with. It's compared with the XC60. Here we have 18 kilowatt hours battery, same size as the Volvo. However, here the total system power is 300 horsepower, where here in the Volvo, it's all the way up to 450 horsepower. So obviously this is much more powerful powertrain. Here we have 6 seconds from 0 to 100. Here we have 4.5 seconds acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Of course, a little bit less for the bigger and heavier XC90. All three have the same size battery of around 18 kilowatt hours. So we just want to compare the interior space. So we'll start with the Lexus. Maybe you can go from the other side because there's very tight space in between cars. So we'll start with the Lexus, the RX. So now the seat is all the way, it's too far back because it has a comfort access, so I have to turn the car on, and now the seat moves into my comfortable position. Okay, so let me turn off the climate system off because it's going to be very noisy otherwise. So I'm right now in a comfortable driving position that I've been driving this car for the last week. Let's check the rear space in this car. And by the way, it's an opening sunroof, and that's the case as well with both Volvos. You have an opening glass sunroof. Okay, so let's jump in the back. And we have to keep the car on because otherwise the seat would move backwards. And so here we have quite a bit of legroom, space for my feet, quite a bit of legroom, and not so much the headroom is I'm okay. But if I were to wear a hat, I'll probably be touching the roof. So just not as much headroom, and I'm again 190 centimeters or 6 feet 3. Let's check out the space in the similarly sized XC60, even though we have other videos, quite a few videos already of the XC60 T8 Recharge plug-in hybrid, but because we're reviewing this car, let's compare right away with the space inside the XC60. Okay, so here we go. This car has not been deep prepped, and this is so what we have to mention about the XC60s. It's similar to the EX30s because these cars are made in China. The pricing of $59,900 for a plug-in hybrid, 450 horsepower for this XC60 may not exist after October 1st. So whatever XC60 core models, and they're very rare, you find you have to basically grab it before October 1st, because after that the new tariffs come in on the cars made in China. Here again you have the sunroof with a sun blind that you can cover, so that comes even in the base car. You get that again. So very comfortable space in the front. Let's compare now what the space looks in the back. Okay, so here again, ample space for my legs, ample space for my feet. And the headroom in the back is actually better than the Lexus. So you can see right away that basically it's very similar. So the difference is that here the vents in the Volvo are on the B pillars. There's no vents in the middle. In the Lexus it's the reverse. The vents are in the middle console, no vents on the B pillar. We cannot show you, unfortunately, the trunk space, but the trunk space is very similar in both the Lexus and the XC60. When we show you, but we do have trunk open for the similarly priced but a larger XC90. So here's the trunk of the Lexus, and here, like in the other Lexuses, you have some compartment underneath with a little bit of storage. You can open it. You have your cable storage right here. Okay, so that's it. You have the trunk space. You have 40-20-40 split for the rear bench in the Lexus RX. Let's put my jacket here. It's a nice warm day in late September. And here's the trunk. You can see the car, the XC90 is a larger car. So even though they are similarly priced, both of them are priced at $87,000. The XC90 is definitely a larger car. It's taller and it's longer, and with a bigger trunk, and it's a 7-seater. So this would be more like a size of a 7-seater RX, which is not available as a plug-in hybrid, as we said. It's the RXL version, but then you cannot get the plug-in hybrid. Here it's one of the very few plug-in hybrid SUVs that has a seven-seat option. Right now the third row is folded down, so you have a huge trunk space, way more storage space than the trunk in a Lexus. It's also the shape of the car itself. The rear hatch is more vertical, where in the Lexus it's kind of more streamlined, so it affects the total volume of the trunk. So that's about it for the comparison of the sizes, with the similarly sized XC60 that happens to be $27,000 cheaper, and then the similarly priced XC90, which is a bigger car. Okay, so we are inside a 2024 Lexus RX450h Plus, the bigger plug-in brother to the NX450h Plus, and it actually has the same exact powertrain as the NX450h Plus, which is also the same as the RAV4 Prime. By the way, Prime name is disappearing, 425, and it's going to be just called PHEV. Which kind of makes more sense. And I'm sure the Lexus cars will drop the Plus and we'll call them PHEV as well, most likely. So right now, the only difference between the regular hybrid and plug-in hybrid is the plus sign. So that's likely to disappear. So this is the larger car. It's one size above the NX450h Plus. even though it uses the same technology, same powertrain. So it's basically 18 kilowatt-hour battery, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine with a CVT transmission, like with most Toyota hybrid cars. The total system power is the same as in RAV4 Prime and NX450h Plus. So it is 300 horsepower total, good for about 6 seconds from 0 to 100. Then on top of this, there is now a brand new, another larger plug-in hybrid car, the TX550h Plus. It's not in the press fleet yet, so hopefully we'll get access to it later on. And that's a larger 7-seater as well, where this car in the plug-in hybrid format, the RX is only sold in the short body version, so 5-seater. There is an L version of the RX, but that car is not available in plug-in hybrid. So that being said, we're not gonna go over the options of the main dashboard or the center screen, because you can look at our video that we just did on the NX and as well as the RZ Lexus cars. So there's no need to repeat all that. And we'll just take you for a spin and tell you about the results, our opinions of this car after driving it for a week, and our test results in terms of the consumption, electrical and gas consumption, because this is a plug-in hybrid. Okay, so the gear shifter is right here. There's some physical buttons here where you have the auto hold is here. We always use it. It's always off, so you have to press it on every time to have the auto hold. Then you have the different EV mode buttons. So this first button here, it changes. There you go. It goes into a hybrid mode. They call it the hold charge mode. So obviously, as soon as you press it, the hold charge mode, it's going to turn on the engine and will try and hold the battery at the current state of charge. And then right away you can see that the display changes to liters per 100 kilometers. Unfortunately, there's no manual way to switch the history of the consumption from gas consumption to electrical consumption. It's only when you change the modes from gas to electric that the display switches from liters per 100 kilometers to kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So if we try and switch it back right now, boom, there you go. Right away we went to kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So, but unfortunately, when the battery is depleted and you're driving in hybrid, there's really no way to check your electrical consumption. It's a little bit silly, but anyway, so that happens. The other button here is auto and hybrid again. So we're in auto EV, we're in EV, and so it's basically those two options. It's auto EV and forced EV. So we're gonna keep it in EV mode for now. Of course, it's only available when the battery is fully charged or it's not depleted. So we're gonna keep it in EV mode. The climate is on. And let's take you for a spin. So the only other difference with the other Lexus cars, before we go, two cup holders here. The wireless phone charger, by the way, the car comes with wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. The charger is actually here below the cover. And it's not here. There's another shelf here, but this one does not include your phone charger. Two USB-C plugs are here. But the wireless charger is actually located down below in this compartment, and there's another storage area to the right, but the charging is only on the left side. And you have, just like in the other Lexus cars, you have this deep storage compartment here that opens from both sides. It's kind of neat and practical. ESP off. This is when you press this button here, you can actually change the suspension settings. Now it's going down. Okay, let's try and press it up. There you go. So it's basically just adjusts the the suspension settings for terrain and such. Okay, so let's take you for a spin. We're in drive. We're trying to use electric mode only. We don't care about the hybrid or sport modes. The sport modes, all the modes are here basically. Normal, Eco, Sport, and Custom, just like on the other Lexus plug-in hybrid cars. So we'll use it in normal, Actually, let's just put it in eco mode. So we did all our testing in eco mode. We didn't even bother with the sport mode. We will try it for you now, but during our testing, we did strictly eco mode because we tried to get the gas consumption down as much and extend the hybrid extend the electric miles as much as possible. So what we can mention here, first of all, when the car is full, it shows around 62 kilometers range, and that's pretty much exactly what we were able to drive this car at. Yesterday, coming back from the lake house, we took the side roads, driving 90 kilometers per hour max. Temperature, there was no rain, it was dry. We drove without climate. Maximum 90 kph, and all we got was about 61 kilometers. Now, driving down from Georgian Bay on Highway 27, there's quite a few hills up and downs. The consumption, the electrical consumption, was 23 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and that's in hypermile mode. So if you were to try to drive this car in EV mode on the highway, your consumption would likely be even more than that. So again, the range as tested, about 62 kilometers total, after which with the depleted high voltage battery, it goes into a hybrid mode. And then the consumption we got was 3 liters per 100 kilometers. So it's not bad, but of course it's more than our results on the RAV4 Prime and on the NX plug-in hybrid. And of course the Prius was spectacular at 1.5 liters on the same test. So this one here, 3 liters per 100. Our usual test, as you know, if you don't know, we're going to repeat. It's a trip from Toronto to Midland. So Toronto to Georgian Bay to Cottage Country, 150 kilometers total, of which 100 kilometers are highway and the other 50 are city and side roads. So 3 liters per 100 is not a bad result. Doing the same test on a highway, we got a result of 4.9 liters per 100 kilometers. Mind you, we used the hold charge button for that test on the highway. So we used about the first 10 kilometers in the city. We were in pure electric. Then we put the battery hold until we exited the 400. So so we got a result of 4.9, but there was still another 20 kilometers left showing on the EV mode range estimator. So we probably could have done a better result, but again, using the EV mode on the highway is not the best use of resources. So yes, this is the plug-in hybrids. The best case scenario is obviously in the city and when you constantly plug it in. So the car charges at 6.6 kilowatts. So based on the size of the 18 kilowatt hours battery, you should be able to recharge it, and it's about 6 hours. So overnight, no problem to recharge it fully. This plug-in hybrid does not have fast charging option. Very few cars actually do. So the only one that we tested recently would have been the GLE that has a fast charging option, a plug-in hybrid GLE, as well as Range Rover and the Mitsubishi Outlander. All the other plug-in hybrid SUVs, you can only charge them from a level 2 at varying speeds. So again, 300 horsepower. We're gonna try and put it in sport mode now that we're gonna be entering the highway. So here again, the way we do it, you slide it and then you have a sport mode. The screen charges to red, eco puts it in blue, etc., etc. So it's normal, and when you're normal, it's just black and white. So we'll see. The engine will probably come on right away. You'll be able to hear it. The engine is very discreet. It's the same 4-cylinder engine as in the NX and the RAV4. This is a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. So we're gonna... Actually, it seems to be still going in electric. Interesting. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. I did not hear the engine come on. We're gonna try and press it a little harder on the ramp. And it still stays in electric. Maybe the only way to do it is by basically changing the mode to hybrid, and then the car, so it's staying in full electric. Even if you fully press it down. That's kind of interesting. It's different than most of the other plug-in hybrid cars. Of course, if you switch the mode to hybrid, you're gonna probably hear, yes, if you switch the mode from EV to hybrid, right away you will hear and you'll see the engine kick in and you will hear it. And of course, this being CVT, it revs like crazy. It goes right away into very high revs on the car. So for that reason, we're not crazy about the CVT transmissions. We much prefer the regular 8-speed transmissions on some of the other plug-in hybrids, in where the electric motor positioned between transmission and the engine actually goes through the same gears as the gas engine. So let's put it back in the EV mode. So hopefully the engine will come off. So it has a good acceleration in pure electric mode as well, and in hybrid. So you may not actually need hybrid mode to make it even faster. 6 seconds 0 to 100. So that's about it. Let's turn it on the auto steer. You turn it on by this button here. It is auto steer. It's not a hands-free system. So you have to, it shows on the head-up display, and it shows here that we're in auto steer right now, but it's not hands-free. Right away, it tells you have to tug at the wheel to let the system know that you're holding the steering wheel, even though it has the driver monitoring systems here, the sensors watching you to make sure that you watch the road. If you get distracted, it's going to tell you, it's going to ring alarms. But even though it has these driver monitoring systems, it still wants you to hold on to the wheel. So it's not a hands-free system like Ford and GM and some of the BMW, Mercedes hands-free systems. So Toyota Lexus does not appear to have those full hands-free systems, unfortunately. So that's about it, about our impressions and test results of this car. If you have any questions, please kindly comment and we'll try and answer your questions. Again, we compared this car with the Volvo XC60 and XC90, which is what a lot of the other reviewers seem to be comparing it with, but it has lots of other competition, such as the GLC that's arriving soon, GLC plug-in 350e, Audi Q5 plug-in as well, both of which are priced below this car. This car again starting at 87. It's priced quite high. The BMW X3 has been discontinued in the plug-in hybrid format. It might be arriving next year, but right now the X3 is not available in plug-in hybrid. So the competition, there's fewer competing cars. Whether it's or not this car is worth 87 grand, you tell us in the comments. We're looking forward to reading your comments and answering your questions. Thanks again for watching. And again, we have to mention that this video, as always, is brought to you by our real estate company, Condos and Castles Realty. And you can find them on the website, www.condosandcastles.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next review.